USDA says DOGE cuts played no role in this outbreak. They point to increased staffing and more than $1 billion invested to help combat this crisis. But that answer isn't satisfying everyone.
Once you get the hang of it, for a lot of people, this becomes their escape, a way of meditation.
47 years, 1,000 plus wins. You don't just put your name on a building, you put it on a wall. But the question is, what, if anything, can Congress do about the Supreme Court's ruling? Back in South Texas, businesses say the uncertainty is already costing money. Sunset Boulevard behind me looks a little bit different. 8 different model homes on this lot. The Interior Department's Fish and Wildlife Service is on the other side of this fight. The administrators here declined to comment on an ongoing lawsuit. Syracuse basketball legend Jerry McNamara has been introduced as the new head coach of Syracuse men's basketball. It felt like spring walking to class yesterday morning, and then by the time we were walking home, it was freezing rain, and then we wake up this morning in a big blanket of snow. Last month, the Supreme Court settled a question that's been fought for in this country for over a century. If you're born here, you're an American citizen. But now some Republican lawmakers are looking to get around that.
I think it was a bad decision. Nobody's perfect. Let's take a look at it again.
Congressman John McGuire isn't buying the ruling, so he wrote a bill. It would end automatic citizenship for kids born to undocumented parents or on temporary visas. McGuire says he's closing what he calls a birth tourism loophole.
Justice Kavanaugh says that Congress has the power to do something about this, and this bill does just that.
But most of the justices disagreed. Thomas Saines runs the Mexican-American Legal Defense and Education Fund.
The fact is, the majority decision in the Supreme Court case was Constitution-based. So there is no basis for Congress to be able to change the outcome of that decision.
Republican Congresswoman Monica De La Cruz says the issue is not whether a child born in the United States is a citizen. The issue is with illegal exploitations and the abuses of the 14th Amendment's citizenship clause. Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar hasn't ruled out the idea of Congress acting.
You got people that cross the river, they go to an emergency room at a hospital and they have a baby on it. So I understand some of that practical practical problems.
But the question is, what, if anything, can Congress do about the Supreme Court's ruling? This bill introduced into the House, as well as one introduced into the Senate, say it would only affect those born after the legislation takes effect. But the majority of justices made it clear. The Constitution says if you're born here, you're an American citizen. For Inside Valley Politics in Washington, I'm Matthew Davison. Texas lawmakers say the warning signs were there, but the response wasn't fast enough.
We have a problem that we're trying to fix that was a systematic failure over the last few years.
Congressman Vicente Gonzalez says USDA told him over a year ago the country needed hundreds of millions more sterile flies. And he says cuts from the now defunct Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, set the response back. Congressman Henry Cuellar agrees.
The ag folks were complaining at that time about the DOGE cuts. It wasn't a member of Congress saying that. That was the agricultural community saying, hey, this is short-sighted.
Some argue those cuts stripped funding from screwworm research and containment work in Central America, the front line meant to stop the pest before it ever reached the United States. USDA says DOGE cuts played no role in this outbreak. They point to increased staffing and more than $1 billion invested to help combat this crisis. But that answer isn't satisfying everyone. Some Texas lawmakers say the response hasn't been fast enough.
It's not just a livestock problem. It's a wildlife problem.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says the situation will get worse before it gets better.
That's a $32 billion industry here in Texas. The number one species affected is cattle, but the number two species is pets, mainly dogs.
Miller wants USDA to add a bait system that kills adult screwworm flies before they can reproduce.
What we're doing is insanity. We keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. It's not working.
But the department is focused on building a new sterile fly production facility in Edinburgh, expected to reach full capacity by 2028. Texas officials say that's too late. Both congressmen I spoke to say they're focused on continuing to work with Mexico to increase production of sterile flies there, where things are moving faster, all in the hopes of producing enough flies to keep pace with the spread of screwworm. For Inside Valley Politics in Washington, I'm Matthew Davison. Does your mind ever feel like a spinning wheel? Well, many are turning to knitting and crochet to slow down, unwind, and find some peace.
We have a slogan that says, I knit so I don't kill people, and I think that that's very, not literal, but accurate for this hobby with the meditativeness and the calming down and helping the overactive brain.
Wrap it around.
The craft dates back centuries, but it's seeing a modern revival. The hashtag crochet has racked up more than 15 billion views on TikTok alone. It looks easy enough until you're the one holding the needles.
This is hard.
Knitting takes time to master.
It's definitely not going to be meditative in the beginning.
So not meditative in the beginning, but once you get the hang of it, for a lot of people, this becomes their escape, a way of meditation.
So this is the front or back panel. It'll be...
Julia Fancher is a physics student at Syracuse University. She turned to crochet to decompress.
It's nice to kind of have something like I can follow the directions and I can kind of turn my brain off a little bit. I like getting like finished products out of it and like doing something kind of worthwhile with my time.
Carrie Heckman has run Nitty Gritty since 2017. She says she has a pretty good idea of why more young people are coming into her store.
People are getting a little tired of how TikTok is owning their brains, and they're looking for other things to do besides endlessly scroll.
Instead of scrolling, they're stitching. Matthew Davison, NCC News.